We are joined by Fred Hawthorne from Barbershop Conversations. Not only is he a podcaster, journalist, but my man has been putting out movies for quite some time.
Oh, there we go.
Now we hear you.
You see what happens when you on mute, Fred? What's up, man? How are you?
Man, it's great. It's great to hear from y'all. Great to see y'all, man. Y'all doing a phenomenal job, man. Hey, Ness, man, congratulations, man, on literally pursuing your goals, man. You've gone what 4,000 or 5,000 miles in the past year to pursue what you want, man. And Ring Walk Danny's back, and y'all got great chemistry, and it's awesome, man. And keep on doing those videos of Danny, man, and interacting with the fans. That's the one thing that I always wanted to do. I just didn't put it in my budget, but keep on doing that, man, because it humanizes boxing, and it makes it seems like you have a real community. You know what I mean? So keep on finding a way to do that, man. And congratulations on your Vegas success.
Thank you, man. Thank you. I'm shocked not to see you in your studio today. What's up?
Oh man, the truth is, I literally just bought an estate, right?
Okay.
And I'm in the process of moving, so my studio will be up Sunday. You know what I mean? By hard work and dedication, I bought a mansion and I got a big estate coming, and so we move in Friday, and so thank God for that.
Damn. In California?
In California, yeah.
Oh my God, you on some Andy Ruiz shit, huh?
Yeah, but I didn't let up the second time. See, I got rich early and kept on pushing on the gas. Andy got rich and took his foot off the gas, man. Andy gained like 40 pounds and fell in love with Rolls Royces and mansions and a whole lot of other stuff, and I didn't. You know what I mean?
You had a Bentley back in the day, right?
He did?
You had a Bentley back in the day, didn't you?
Yeah, Bentley. Yeah. I traded it in for 2 Teslas, and but yeah, man, it's just keep on pursuing, man. Keep on passionate pursuing your goals, man. And then the most beautiful thing about that, y'all, is that you won't live life with ceilings. You know what I'm saying, Danny? Like you like that. You never would have thought. You thought you was gonna be in your big old house in Florida, right?
For real.
Building your pool. Now you interviewing everywhere. You're literally the Breakfast Club of boxing, man. And I watch y'all every morning, it's beautiful to see. I always compliment you, man. It's beautiful to see, like, you keep on creating new ways. You know what I mean? And it's dope, man. It's literally dope, for real. No doubt.
Man, I appreciate you, man. Thank you for all the recognition and acknowledgement. But I mean, the same could be said for you, man. You keep knocking down barriers. I remember not when you started, but when you started your little war. And I'm like, man, this guy's committing career suicide. But one thing that you remained true to was you not needing them and still being able to do it and cover the sport without their permission. And, I thought that was crazy. But you've somehow been able to do it. And on top of that, you've used your platform to open so many other doors. So, me and Danny were just going back and forth whether or not you were Emmy Award nominated.
Yeah.
So please give out all the recognitions, because I know you have transitioned into movies a lot, and you just put out a new project. And
Checks and Balances. Make sure to check that out.
Plus 9 Wives. I know that you have a couple of projects, so I definitely want you to give more information and details than we can.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah. I was doing film simultaneously with boxing, but I've always stood my ground. Truth be told, that's how you and I met. Both of us standing our ground, keeping a buck. You see what I'm saying? You had a footage and what 8-inch arm reach, 12-inch arm reach advantage against me. I'm keeping a buck in Gleason's gym. He walked up to me. I dropped my bag. He dropped our bag, and Barack stepped in front and said, "Not here." Keep it a buck. You know what I mean? So I've always stood my ground. I've always. And I know this gets overstated. I'm willing to die for what I believe in. You know what I mean? I genuinely believe my spiritual realm will be more plentiful than my physical realm. I can't believe in God and be afraid to die. And I've always taken that approach. And through that, I've garnered successes, Emmy nominated. You know what I mean? But that's behind me now. I got a project now, checks and balances, man, and it's literally retribution, reparations, righting the wrongs in the Black community. You guys may have seen the trailer, so we go visit Florida, man. We go visit the man that murdered Trayvon Martin, and he pays the ultimate sacrifice, and he pays the ultimate consequences. And I think that this is my most powerful film. It's independent, my money, my ideas, my producing, my directing, and I had a great team, great actors. Miss Parker from Friday, Jerome Roe Brooks from The Have and the Have Nots from Tyler Perry's, Lou LaFournette from Tyler Perry's Brush, and literally an all-star cast, Charleston White, just an incredible cast. And it's just me just literally betting on myself, believing in myself. And that's why I was able to do what I did in boxing. That's, you know what I mean? I really didn't give a fuck about the conglomerate of boxing, man. And I knew that in order for us to make change, that we had to empower each other. And so I literally wanted to, like, YouTubers to have value. Like, don't you get tired? I'm gonna say I get tired of Kevin Aioli and Keith Idec, all them guys. They get the first question. Why? We do more numbers than them. When I was in the game, I ain't gonna lie, when there was a Black fighter fighting, I do millions that weekend. I go viral 2 or 3 times. I'm more important than Keith Idec. This generation wanted in 15 seconds. Mm-hmm. So I cut up a video in less than a minute. They watch it, they get the news. And if they want the long version, they go to the site, man, you know? And now these guys have joined us, the Lance Pugmires, and now they've joined us. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we were right all along, Ness. We were right.
It's funny you say that because you're right. I remember the transition from Kevin Aioli from writing on Yahoo to all of a sudden doing
like Zooms and shit.
Zooms, but he stopped that because you see, they never respected us. And now they're forced to live in our shoes and they're seeing how difficult it is.
Right.
Dan Rayfield's not on camera, and neither is Aioli, and it's because they get attacked physically because of how they look. They couldn't take it. Like, Aioli literally stopped, and his Zooms were popular. He was getting big-ass names, but he stopped. You can't take the criticism. It's crazy out here in the streets, boy.
Yeah, true, but there's no wide shot to fit Dan Rafael, so you know what I mean?
This guy's terrible.
You terrible, Fred. Yo, I was there Broner Pacquiao fight week, and Fred just went the fuck off on Dan, and Dan sat, oh man, he sat there just like, oh shit, what's going on?
Wait, so what? You went off on him for some previous stuff, or you guys had a conversation that sparked it?
See what happened. Oh, that's a great story. Mike Cappinger, right? Mike Coppinger, that's his name.
Wait, did you call him Cappinger on purpose?
Yeah, I did.
Oh man, I think Mike is money making Mike. Man, he break all the news.
Nah, he's solid. He's solid. He does a good job. He's in a company, man. But they were arguing.
Oh yeah. They always had a little beef because Dan started in USA Today and Coppinger took his job obviously when Dan went to ESPN. But now look at Coppinger at ESPN and Dan is out.
Yeah, and I recorded it and I posted it. And it was moving, and they got hold of it. And then here comes Kelly Swanson and Dan Rafael. And what I did was I said, fuck your fat ass. Fuck you. Like, how we gonna solve this equation? You know what I mean? And he went and ran and told, you know, and I knew I was on my way out 2 years prior to that. You know, like I knew that I'm sneaking people in with my credentials. You know what I mean? I'm doing a whole bunch of shit. I really don't care. You know what I mean? Because I know that the independent voice is more important than the conglomerate. You understand? So people with smaller, they would DM me, Fred, I can't get in a fight. I said, meet me in the front at 6 o'clock, not 7 o'clock, 6 o'clock before everything starts and it gets time. And I would sneak people in and do my job and do my interviews because I knew these platforms, your platform, my platform, our platforms were essential, you know, and I wanted to take.
But why risk it then? If you knew your platform was essential, why risk your position?
I don't have a position as it pertains to them. I am the position.
As it pertains to them, but not to your audience. To your audience, I'm sure the lack of access. Because I get people every day that like, Ness, you need to make up with Wilder and Earl. Like, it's 2022. Send them a message like it's fucking me that doesn't want to make up.
Yeah, right. I never cared about the position that they put me in. I knew, see, I come from like everything I've had to do, I had to earn, you know, and I knew I wasn't going to be accepted, you know, even from being a scholarship point guard. I'm 5'7", dog. You know what I mean? I'm not going to the NBA, so I had to fight and get this damn scholarship, you know? And so I had to fight to be a backup point guard. You know what I mean? I was a great high school athlete, but I never, just looking at the conglomerate, man, Bernie, and at the time, Bernie was real popular then, and Kelly Swanson, looking at them make you say, I'm better than them. Just looking at them physically, like, how are you in this position? You overweight, you got a scowl, you're not beautiful, you don't know how to talk, you're inarticulate, you're greedy, you're selfish. And I knew that if you had a third person, Ness, that didn't have a credential, I would sneak them in. As simple as that. If ES News or if anyone else needs, I would sneak them in. I really didn't care, you know, because I knew the power of the internet. And I remember years ago, Ness, I walked up to these guys, you know, the Power Five, as you would call them, you know.
The Power Five? Who's the Power Five?
You know, I don't know. People, you know, Fight Hype, Ellie, and
are you talking in terms of media?
Yeah. I went up to him and I says, listen, I know how we can get paid. We form a union, but back then I had like 2,000 subs, right? But they didn't know that I've built businesses outside of box. I says, here's how we get paid. We don't show up to their fights until they pay us our rooms, or per diem. We don't cover because they need us for the small cards. They don't need us for Pacquiao Floyd. But you know how long it takes to get the Pacquiao Floyd? It takes years to get the Pacquiao Floyd. So we need the ESPN treatment. But and then they was like, Fred, you crazy. I got 300,000 subscribers. I said, all right, you're gonna be breaking even some of these weekends, you know, and that's what I wanted to do. You know, I really wanted to do that and take the power from Bob Arum, Al Haymon, Eddie Hearn, take their power and give it to us, you know, power to the people. And I failed at that.
Why do you think so? Do you think your approach at other content creators was off, or sure. What was missing to make something like that come together?
Yeah, I've learned. I'm 44 now, Ness. I've learned.
Get out of here! You look young as freak.
Oh, thank you, dog.
Yeah, y'all both.
I'm actually younger. Fall back. Fall back.
Till what? Tomorrow? Till what? Tomorrow?
No, tomorrow I turn 43, don't I?
No, I thought you turned 44 tomorrow.
Happy birthday, Ness.
Wait, I gotta check.
He said I gotta check.
Danny trying to make me older ever since he started hanging with me, trying to make me older than what I am.
Fred, because I asked him, I said, bro, how does it feel to have a best friend your son age? Like,
you know, I've learned over the years, Ness, that when someone's thirsty, you bring them water.
Yeah.
When someone's hungry, you bring them food. So I admit that my approach sometimes when I was younger, I'm getting better at it, is maybe a little bit too harsh, a little bit more straightforward. And I should have spoke their language. You know, maybe I should have added some more humility. Maybe I should have added a dose of like, you're the shit. You know, I mean, you're the best. But, you know, you live and you learn, you know. Definitely live and you learn. So, but yeah.
So what brought you to movies?
I did a film 2010, 2009. I was just inspired, man. Rest in peace, Freeman Williams. He just passed. He's the second all-time leading scorer in college basketball history. And I'm in the gym with him. And I'm like, I'm hearing his story, you know, played with Larry Bird, the 7th pick in the NBA draft, second all-time behind Pete Maravich. And I'm in his high school gym, and he's the assistant coach at the high school. And the head coach is Dwayne Poley, who is Mr. Everything here in LA, played for the Clippers. They both played for the Clippers, actually. And I'm like, hold up, Freeman, you were Mr. Who? And I said, we need to do a film on you. So I took all the money out my bank. I melted my jewelry, got that cash, and the rest is history, man. I did that film on a $20,000 budget, $25,000 budget, 3 states, documentary, did well. And I've been moving ever since. And
people always say that the checks from movies are better than music. Like you see, musicians that transition into movies, and obviously that's on a bigger level with budgets from big studios. But have you found that your independent movies are bringing you more financial success than your journalism career?
No, I would say they're on par with one another. You know what I mean? I actually would say the last 2 years of YouTube, I was making a lot of money, about $8,000 to $10,000 a month, especially when Wilder fought and Earl Spence fought and those guys fought, and chopping up those videos, man. So I would say no, I haven't reached the financial success in terms of movies. The most beautiful thing about it, Ness, is that I own it, though. You know what I mean? So when I'm 60, yeah, it will make more money. And but I've been offered millions of dollars, Ness, like Warner Brothers and like people think I've been offered the ESPN job. When ESPN LA came to LA, they've offered me the job, as a producer, and I declined the job because they wouldn't make me an on-air personality. And I would do the same thing I did in boxing, leverage that platform into my platform and then get fired, and they wouldn't agree to that. And I was not going to sit around for, what was it at the time, $140,000 a year to be a producer on ESPN. I said, no, I'm not going to do that, sit in your office for 12 hours and stress over ratings. I'm not going to do it. And but no, the money has yet to come, but boxing was definitely more lucrative.
Do you think the money isn't coming in the field of the movies because of the genre that you're choosing? Because, I mean, one would think, why is Fred doing that genre when he's established himself in boxing? He can make like a boxing movie.
Good question. I've done, you want to know the truth, the God honest truth? I've done the Floyd documentary. I own it. I have it. It's well done. It's award winning. I've been offered, a company in Mexico offered me $500,000 for it. I didn't sell it. You want to know the honest, the God truth? Floyd didn't do what he said he was going to do on the project. He didn't move with integrity. So I have it. So I still have it in my external file. I don't, maybe I'm a rare breed. I don't know, but I take disrespect as in fuck you. Like I don't take disrespect as, hey, let's make up later. You understand what I'm saying? Because I believe in my ability to get stuff done. And I just.
But making up later, isn't that like signs of growth?
Yeah.
And maturity?
Sure. Very much so. Very much so. If it's not intentional. See, when people disrespect you intentionally, never go back. Because keep in mind, snakes only shed skin when they grow. They don't die, and I understand that. People can make mistakes of omission. Like you and I, it was me being a linguistics with Virgil Hunter. You get what I'm saying? Like I use the word, and so it wasn't like I'm attacking you. I'm speaking to my audience. You know what I mean? I'm speaking to the people that's subscribing to me, and I'm framing the words to fit what I'm preaching over here. It wasn't like I hate Ness. Oh, fuck the boxing voice. And no, it was so that's a little bit different. But I don't go backwards, and that's in every relationship I have. I believe in communication. I think communication is so important. And obviously we do shows we talk for a living, I guess. And so no, I don't believe when you purposely do it. Nah, I'm not going back. Nah. But if it's a mistake, sure. Then that's cause for.
I believe I've seen some social media posts on you, from you, that you have a certain stance on Haney, right? In the contract that he signed, or am I mistaken?
No, you're not mistaken at all.
Can I get your stance on that, just for my audience?
Yeah, he shouldn't have signed. He shouldn't have signed the contract. I thought he should have held out. because we got to keep in mind that we have the power. Devin Haney has the power. He's a world champion. And I think you relinquish a lot of power when you're chasing. You either pursue or you assume power. Chasing is not a guarantee. Pursuing, taking the right angle is the guarantee that you're going to succeed, you know, and the fact that he has to fight twice in the country, his father can't go.
Well, that's what the contract state, Fred.
Say it again, please.
I'm saying that's what the contract states. Cause I feel like you know, I've seen your videos on the stance, and you know, I agree with a lot of what you were saying, but I feel like I just don't think that he's gonna fulfill the contract.
You think Kambosos is just gonna?
No, he thinks that Devin will win and vacate the belt or move up. No need for a rematch. Or the last one that Haney fans believe is he'll beat him so badly he won't want a rematch.
Nah. He's gonna take that rematch because of the money involved. You know, I believe he's making a career high payday this Saturday. And don't be fooled.
Who? Devin?
No,
Kambosos. And so, like, don't make no mistake. I'm all in. I'm 100%. I'm rooting for Devin Haney like I'm rooting for Deontay Wilder this Saturday. But I think we got to understand that we are the reason why boxing exists. And I'm talking about the Devin Haneys, the Errol Spence, Terrence Crawfords, the Deontay Wilders, and so on and so forth, and Canelos. We are the reason. Do you see how Canelo was moving? People yelling and making fuss. You know what Canelo said? No, I'm going to go take this $45 million against Triple G. That's power. And guess what? Everybody on my undercard is going to be of Latino origin. That's power. And I'm fighting on the dates I want to fight. The only way you can sign me is if I fight 3 to 4 times a year. If you ain't got it, you ain't got it. Put this in perspective, Ness, and your audience. Canelo is so powerful. Al Haymon and PBC was going to force Errol Spence to fight Canelo at 164 September 17, 2022, if he would have got past Jamal Charlo.
Yeah, I wouldn't call it force. I would definitely say Al Haymon would have been doing what he's been doing since he got in the sport, which is getting his fighter the biggest fight possible. Had he got Earl that fight, that would have been the 4th black fighter that got the Canelo fight under Al Haymon. Daniel Jacobs, Trout, Laura, Earl. And you tell me, because you saying the word force, and I don't even know why would you say that when you and I both know that the Canelo fight is 10 times bigger than the Crawford fight. That Crawford fight, that shit gets eclipsed if Canelo says, yeah, let's fight in Dallas. We're going to do 100,000 because I brought 70 with fucking Billy Joe.
73, 126. So you know they doing 100. They doing 100.
That ain't no force. That's Al blessing the shit out of Earl.
You think that's a blessing?
Brother,
that's a blessing?
Win or lose, Earl is a bona fide star after that. Bona fide.
Kell Brook.
What about Kell Brook?
Kell Brook, Roy Jones.
People who have gone up, came back down, and not had success.
And this is boxing. This is real life, man. The human body is the human body. These guys are not robots. To say Earl Spence, you fight Ugas at 147 in April, and then you go up to 164 and fight a guy who's a firm 168.
Fred.
Yes.
No one Earl fought, not even on these fake, back end checks that we like to talk about. No one has made Earl $10 million. And let me tell you, there's basically no one that hasn't fought Canelo for less than 10. What, Billy Joe? So why wouldn't I move up? That ain't no force. That's a blessing. You giving me generational wealth. Keller Plant made $10 million. That's 4. He loses 4 in taxes. 6 just sit in the bank, collect interest till his newborn baby that ain't born yet starts wanting to use that shit. Like that. Okay. You don't even got to touch that. So now I'm about to turn around and do that for Earl too, plus give him more than Keller because Earl brings in more. He's already a star. He's already on pay-per-view, and he's already doing hella numbers on ticket sales.
Okay, now let's break that down because everyone always think the finish line is their next step. The finish line is death. Now let me explain something to you. How much money would you think would he make for Canelo?
I mean, we could go based off old.
No, just a round number.
Yeah, but I'm only gonna, package it with the numbers he's giving out. Right. So the rumor is Kovalev got like 14, right? Daniel Jacobs got like 12 and a half.
Right.
Billy Joe got 8. Caleb got 10. None of them motherfuckers is as big as Earl. None of them do half the tickets as Earl. So Earl easy. I'ma say anywhere from 12 to 15 Earl could have got for that fight, especially knowing that he gonna do 100,000.
I was thinking 20.
I think 20 is a big ass number. I think they would give him anywhere from 12 to 15 plus put him on the back end and say, yo, we gonna do numbers on pay-per-view and we could split ticket sales because they know he bringing. Jerry Jones got a relationship with Earl, so Canelo can't play him like you ain't no player. You a player. You putting asses in seats. And against me, we about to fucking sell out. I think they sell out. Bro, easy 100,000.
You was gonna have 100,000, like literally just it was gonna be 100,000 blacks and Mexicans. Bro, in that
he did
building.
48 with Mikey. So how much he gonna do with Canelo?
Nah, for
all
sure.
the Mexicans gonna be like, hell yeah, Canelo gonna get us back now. He gonna pay him back because he beat Mikey. Hell no, that's a big ass fight.
Yeah. Okay, now break that down. So you say 15 million is your apex?
I would say 15 guaranteed.
Okay, so the total would be 20 million, right?
I would say maybe something of, I don't know how much they gonna give him back end.
I'm just saying, just pick a number. Pick any number you want.
15 plus back end.
Okay, so 17 and a half. Okay, 17 and a half. He's at 147. Let's say he's probably making $4 to $5 million a fight, right? Right?
Okay.
He fights Terrence Crawford. What does he get? 9 million? 11 million?
I want to believe he could maybe get that full 10 because the rumor was Eddie was offering him and Mikey 8 each to fight on DAZN. So we want to hope that Al, and I'm using air quotes, said, hey, don't go over there. I'm gonna give you what they giving you or close to. So if he fought Mikey for that, you want to assume, especially if Crawford got 6.5 for Porter with no belt or as a mandatory, like. That's why that fight ain't happened yet. They want too much money. Each of them at least want 10 mil.
And that pretty much sums up why I believe that Al Haymon was basically making a bad business decision for Earl Spence. You got 2 rematches, right? 20. That's 20 million gross. We just talking gross numbers, right? You move up to 154. Jamel Charlo and Earl Spence got to be businessmen, right? Okay, I know we best friends. But let's play this. Mm-hmm. Let's play this audience like how they built up Rolly. They played the audience. Rolly wasn't on his talent level, right? Robert Guerrero, Floyd Mayweather. I knew Floyd was never gonna lose a round. He wasn't gonna get touched, right? So, Jamel, how much you think we can get, Jamel? 8 million. So now we're looking at 28 million. And
ain't nobody giving Jamel 8 million.
No, I'm just saying Earl's purse. 8 million.
So why would Jamel fight Earl for undisputed if he can't even get 8? But he ain't getting 8.
No, who cares about Jamel? I'm talking about Earl.
But that's what I'm saying. Why, if I'm Jamel, why would I agree to fight my best friend? And we know he can't. Like, who's giving him 8? Name one person that ever got close to 8 by 50%.
No, I'm talking about Earl. Earl is the A side, so I don't care what Jamel is making.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm still the A side, Fred, because I got all the belts. Earl wants to move up to 54 to fight me for my belts. You got to make me happy or I ain't giving you shit. I ain't fighting Earl. How you gonna convince me to fight Earl?
So let's assume they gave him what he wanted. Now,
how though?
No, it's not about how. I'm just saying let's just assume.
Okay.
Let's just assume what they. So now we're at 28 million for Earl Spence and purses.
Wait. Oh, because you're saying.
He was saying.
First of all, Wilder's rematch was not more than the first fight.
No, he didn't make the rematch more.
He said 10 and 10, 20, and then another 8. Yeah. That's 28. That's 2 $10 million fights. That's impossible.
No, with Terrence Crawford, the rematch. If there's a rematch there,
did Wilder get the same amount in the first fight and the second fight?
So let's say 7 million. Let's say it's 17.
And statistically, we went through this a few days ago. Rematches make less money than the original. They never do the same, more pay-per-view numbers.
I'm with all of that. The point I'm making is that 17 million 17.5 that he gets for Canelo
plus the residual. See, you ignoring that. You ignoring, and I ain't talking residual money. I'm talking about residual effect. Think about Robert Guerrero and all the money he made because he lost to Floyd. He became someone. When you become someone, you make more money. So losing to Canelo, if Earl would have, because that's not guaranteed,
right?
Then he's still a star. He's still going to make that money. He's still up there.
Yeah, and I would argue that whoever he becomes, he's not physically able to be that person because he came up 17 pounds and it didn't work out.
My man, my own producer in the chat, lying. I'm Googling that. He said Jermell made $10 million for Castaño. You fucking bananas.
Yeah, he said that. He lied.
He lying. These Charlo fans bananas.
Yeah, he did say that.
Fuck out of here. $10 million purse.
Yeah, he lied and said he ain't making no $10 million. But yeah, I get what you're saying in terms of give me the Canelo fight right now. I don't think Earl Spence is physically ready to compete.
Look, man, yo, the first time, look, give me a screen share. This is what I'm saying, because you fanboys are fucking liars. Jermell Charlo Purse, I ain't even get specific. First Google fucking search. Payout expected upwards of $3 million, while Castaño is expected to top out of $650,000. Man, don't talk to me about no motherfucking making $10 million. I think these dudes be tripping on the internet, acting like it's like we just giving away money now. You crazy?
Nah, they can't. Nah,
crazy, man.
If Earl didn't get 10 million and Tank didn't get 10 million, Jermell is definitely not getting 10 million.
And they do numbers. They actually turn a profit.
Big numbers for sure.
And I got nothing against Jermell. I think he deserves it when the time comes. Like a fight with he and Crawford, you know, if this is saying he got upwards of 3, maybe a fight with he and Crawford, maybe he can get a 6.5.
I think Jermell is on his way, but Jermell got to be a little bit more stable. Like he got to build his base in Texas. He can't be coming to LA, and he done fought too many times in LA and it hasn't been successful in terms of the financials. I think he needs to go fight in Houston, Dallas, and build his audience there, and maybe fight about 2 months or 3 months away from Earl so they can rejuvenate the money. And then Earl comes back 3 months later. And then he got to get a PR person.
It's so hard to deal with. I'm sorry that I'm feeding into the comments here, but they talking about, bruh, he got $9 million because of the back end. It wasn't even a pay-per-view. It wasn't even a pay-per-view. What back end check they giving him?
Hey, Fred, I'm glad that you brought up, Jermell fighting in Texas, because you and I were both critical of something that PBC didn't do last year, and they're doing it this year, and that right there is Juneteenth.
Yeah.
Juneteenth.
Well, this is the second one.
I understand that, but last year, Jermall Charlo obviously headlined, but he was the only African American fighter. Like Canelo would, how would Canelo look not having no other Mexican fighters on Cinco de Mayo or Mexican Independence? He would look fucking foolish. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So even now with Eddie, who doesn't have the Mexican fighters, he threw the few he had on there because you have to, and I know Rais Salim is on that card as well. So I just love that they listened and that they're actually giving it what it deserves.
Yeah, it definitely deserves it, because you got to pay homage to where it's easy to pay homage. You know what I mean? Like, for example, I've always said Muhammad Ali and Martin Luther King weekend needs to be the biggest fight in the sport. You got all the promotion. You got the NFL playoffs to play off of. You got the legend of Muhammad Ali and Martin Luther King. I think that 3-day weekend in January needs to be one of the biggest events. Our Super Bowl of boxing. And then you fast forward to Cinco de Mayo. I never understood Floyd wanting to take over Cinco de Mayo, and wear the hombro, the sombrero, and the Mexican flag and the colors. I never understood that after he beat Oscar De La Hoya. But he carried the torch and so on and so forth. It was Mayweather weekend. And then we fast forward to 2021.
But you understand that's marketing. That's like a club promoter, putting on a show or putting on a festive night on a Saturday around Memorial Day weekend. Like, it's not I didn't go to the war, but my birthday's Monday, so I'm going away for this weekend. Like that's just I'm using this weekend to, have fun.
Yeah, and that is the same reason why Devin Haney is in I believe to be a upside down contract. He has to go because we don't assert power. We don't assert who we are. Like you do your events. Do you call me and say, hey, Fred, I know you're doing an event on this day. I'm going to do because you do your meet and greets.
Mm-hmm.
You don't call me, you do it, right?
Mm-hmm.
You pick a date, same thing. I think create your own identity, create your own, I'm a true believer in entrepreneurship and ownership.
But that is what's going on, Fred, because it's every promoter is saying, man, fuck them and what they got going on. We doing Saturday. So now we got 3 promoters on Saturday because they saying create your own lane and we're a business and I'm doing business that works for me. So they kind of are doing that.
I understand from a pragmatic perspective, but Floyd should have changed the narrative. And now you got Tank Davis fighting this past Saturday. How the hell you get all those ticket sales from the I-95 in Baltimore, all those black fans coming, and you got an all Latino undercard? It makes no sense. Why did Richardson fight in Arizona on a non-televised card, and he's from Brooklyn? Why isn't he fighting the opening bout on that pay-per-view? Why isn't Chris Colbert making his comeback to create a fan base for him? He had to come out here.
Well, that's a Mayweather Promotions fight. So, for Al to put Chris on there, he's got to probably owe Mayweather a favor on another card. Like that's a
Samson
Mayweather Promotions.
Samson had fighters on the card. It's no different, But at the end of the day, I understand. Like, okay, it's politics as usual. We're doing this, but you got to take ownership. Like it's like doing scrums. I stopped doing scrums my last 2 years. I'm like, dude, I'm like, Kelly, I do, my numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody knows each other's numbers. I'm not saying I'm the best. I'm not competing, but my numbers are my numbers. I add value to this promotion.
Mm-hmm.
I'm tired of sitting with 12 motherfuckers and my question go viral.
Man, tell me about it.
You get what I'm saying?
You tired of seeing your question on someone else's video?
yeah. All up in the video. But anyway, it's just asinine that we just get put to the back. And I said, no, I'm done. And that was again the beginning of the middle of my end with those credentials. And one might say, I had my cake and I was eating it too.
Mm-hmm.
I'm great friends with the Watsons, and I had complete access. I'm great friends from a business perspective with Bob. Got great access with Top Rank, great access with PBC. But I said, you know what? I'm bringing them on my platform. I'm not going to these I'm not going to these fights and being treated like a second-class citizen. And I pay my mortgage in my house. I unlock my front door. I pay my car notes. I take my kids to school. But when I come to you throwing bologna sandwiches at me.
Yep.
Ain't happening.
Yeah,
ain't happening.
That's exactly why I stopped, man. The treatment, like we're paparazzi at a press conference, like you said, the disrespect, they give certain people the time they need, and then it's like, all right, you guys just all crowd together and get whatever you can, and it's like, the fuck are you talking about? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I feel like you feel like I know what numbers I do, so like, what are you talking about? Like, who's reading that site that they're writing for? You know what I'm saying? Like, because I got Alexa.com and I can check what sites is popping and your site not popping. There's only a few sites. Boxing Scene, ESPN, Yahoo. Like, name another site that's out here making waves. Bleacher Report? Maybe Bleacher Report for sure does numbers. I'm talking about maybe Bad Left Hook because their association with SB Nation. But when we talking about print media, that shit is dead.
It's way dead, and the most beautiful thing about with YouTube is 24/7. So people see when you go to network, those are segments. When we do videos, fans can access it 24/365.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a huge difference when people are doing
well, Fred, you know that you're right when you see every promoter. We've been doing this long enough to know that promoters were out here promoting without a YouTube channel.
Right.
You know, without a Twitter account, without an Instagram account. Like Bob literally just got an Instagram account like 4 years ago or something like that. So it's like, you know, we've always had kind of an advantage on them. The promoters, the networks themselves had to transition into YouTube. Obviously, HBO had one, but Showtime took forever to start streaming undercard fights to their YouTube channel. We bet, you know, there would be content creators talking about that on a daily, like, damn, why can't they just put the fucking undercards that no one sees on YouTube so we can finally see them? And, you know, I just want to say to you that you have to admit we have seen a lot of change in our years doing this.
Oh, for sure. Oh, for sure. Even in terms of how these executives interact. Look how Steven Espinoza interacts and speaks the language of the people on Twitter. You know, here's a man who has a black card, a black truck, lives in a high rise, has an unlimited amount of cash flow in terms of Viacom and CBS. And he's on Twitter responding to Eddie Hearn, you, the fans, and he knows the pulse. So I commend Steven Espinoza to that degree, but we'll never get the credit. You know what I mean? They're never going to say Ness. Like, I swear before God, I'm not making this up because I'm on your show. I swear before God, I'd be like, regardless of how you feel about him, I'm like, why is Steven Jackson? I like Steven Jackson. I swear I like Steven Jackson. But I think he's a basketball expert and a boxing novice, per se. I say, why isn't Ness, Blue Blood, or maybe Champ Side or Danny, or why don't they have that spot?
Because Steven Jackson brings in the casual, like you said, he's a basketball player, so they're hoping that he's gonna bring in his audience that isn't from boxing.
Actually, Fred, when I heard you say that, I'm like, I agree to, but not with Stack. I'm like, bro, because he does bring that casual. Like, I'm gonna be honest,
outside audience.
I was in Dallas. For the Earl Ugas fight. Me interviewing Stack. For my friends and family, that was the coolest thing of them the whole fucking weekend. They didn't care that I interviewed Earl, you know, because they know Steven Jackson. But I do agree that there's people that are in positions that I'm like, honestly, truthfully, Fred, that's what got me into boxing. I would listen to interviews, and there was one guy in particular, and I told Ness this the other day. He worked for a Spanish radio station out here, and he getting credentialed, and I'm listening to his shit. And he not speaking facts. Like, he literally getting records wrong, this wrong. I'm like, yo, if this dude is doing it, and I know way more than you at 20 years old, how the fuck I can't do it? Right. And that same person is no longer in media at all, not even boxing or sports or nothing at all. Yo, that same person messaged me the other day asking for a ticket to the fight. And I was like, yo, we don't get tickets. And he told me, he was like, I'm the one that got you here. And I'm like, motherfucker, you ain't do shit for me. Like, ever. Like, you've always got an auxiliary, motherfucker. I started on the floor. Fuck wrong with you. But, yo, it was literally people in positions that I felt, I'm like, yo, if you're in this position and I know more than you, then I can be in that position too. So I trust me, bro. I'm with you because that's what got me started.
Oh, okay. Like, for example, Barry Tompkins did the fight. I'm like, Barry Tompkins is like Jesus commentating the fights. It's like, dude, you have no attachment to 2022's audience. I'm like, why is he commentating the fight? I know Morrow wasn't there. I'm like, dude, but for example, like how Eddie Hearn gets it, dog. Eddie Hearn gets it. I don't like him the long way, but in terms of like, you know what? Ak and Barack, y'all do y'all. Y'all come over to the zone. It makes sense. You can't have these guys, Brian Campbell, and these guys trying to relate to the boxing audience.
But why? I gotta know why. What's different between Brian Campbell? What's the dude from Monday Morning Combat? Brian Campbell's co-host.
Oh, I don't remember his name, but
you know his name?
No, I don't know.
But what's the difference, in your opinion, between Brian Campbell and his co-host from Monday Morning
they don't speak the language of the people. Like, there's a language now. Ness, you have a language that you speak. You don't. It's a language now. It's not media.
But be more specific. Be more specific.
It has nothing to do with the color of their skin or anything like that. I'm telling you, like, YouTube has a vibration. Boxing fans have a different vibration than reading Ring Magazine in 1985 and seeing Mike Tyson and Sugar Ray Leonard on the cover. It's different.
I hate to pivot, but I got to get your thoughts. I thought it was extremely disrespectful. What did you think of Jim Gray's attitude and actions during the post-fight with Tank Davis?
Yeah, that was so wrong. That was so wrong. And I didn't talk about it because I didn't want people to think that I was bringing it up, race this, race that. But it was deplorable. He did it twice in that interview. He did it one with the gun, and then he did it one with something else. And he got to understand, Jim Gray and Larry Merchant got to understand that you're not above. They speaking as if, like, you have to adhere to the rules and regulations of how I interview you. You understand what I'm saying? And him making a fuss about the Glock and him making reference to those men in Texas was disingenuous. It was disgusting. Jim Gray got to understand that Tank Davis, that's his moniker at this point.
Saying that.
Yeah, he been saying that. And Jim Gray might be past his prime, definitely past his prime. I don't know if he adds value at this point. I'll be honest. I don't know if he adds value to the event. Brian Custer.
I honestly, I don't like talking about people when they work, but I'm gonna agree with you. I feel like Larry Merchant would he would trigger people. You know what I'm saying? He would antagonize you. Jim is not even doing that anymore. He's not. It's just like fucking going through the motions. Like I don't remember the last memorable Jim Gray post-fight interview.
My back. That was the last one.
Well, there you go.
You know what though, Fred? When it came to Floyd actually was. I feel like he liked him, so he would speak to him. So I feel like he had those moments with Floyd. Obviously, not as memorable as my back, but you didn't really see Floyd. With that or like that with many other people. So that
right.
But I agree, man. That was just such a for me, like, an uncomfortable moment.
It was very uncomfortable.
It was very uncomfortable for me, being there as a media member to hear that. I felt uncomfortable, truly.
And the place that we're at, we're in a place of combat. You know what I mean? We're in a place of quote unquote war. And the fact that they just exhibited pure violence for 6 rounds, and then you tell. Jim Gray knew what he was doing.
Absolutely.
Jim Gray exactly knew what he was doing, and he wanted to demoralize and diminish Tank Davis in that moment, without a shadow of a doubt.
Do you think someone should have stepped in, or do you think it was handled the best way it could? Because it kind of went, it kind of went unnoticed unless you were paying full attention.
It made Tank feel a little bit awkward. Tank said, you see how he jumped out?
Absolutely.
And Tank knows what's going on in the world. Tank wasn't thinking about Texas in that moment. He was talking. He was basically telling Devin Haney and Lomachenko and Kambosos and whoever else, like, hey, I'm the big fish now. You know what I mean? It's strap season on mine. I know y'all got the real belts, but I got 19,000 people. These are the belts. You know what I'm saying? These people that paid their money and drove up and flew into New York, these are the real belts.
And Fred, let me tell you, that was so crazy, because that was my first fight at Barclays, right?
Oh, dope.
Everybody's telling me, like, yo, don't expect this, because obviously record breaking and whatnot, and they did a great job. But for me, it was seeing. I had a friend come to the fight. This girl, she wanted to come, whatever. And that's the thing. Tank brings him out. Yo, within a matter of an hour, the cheapest ticket the day of went from like $100 to like $250.
And that's Tank Davis for you.
That's Tank Davis.
That's definitely Tank Davis for you, man. And the behavior after the fight, I'm not gonna sit here and put a stamp of approval on that? Can we just go home after the fight and watch the replay? You know what I mean? Make love, go to the strip club, do what we want to do. But what those couple hundred people that destroyed the night for those 18,500 other people. And now hopefully I want fights at Barclay. You know, I want fights at Madison Square Garden. I don't want Al Haymon, even though I do my best to hold him accountable. I don't want him to go out of business. Mm-hmm. I just want him to do what he said he's going to do.
Which is what? What do you think he's not doing? Free boxing for all?
Definitely that. He conned us. He literally conned us, and I'm glad you want to start there with it. He conned us by saying, I'm not charging. I'm not this. I'm going to have my premier fighters fighting for free, and you don't have to pay.
But the counter argument is...
Mm-hmm. There's no counter argument.
There is. Just like any business, you start off with some sort of marketing plan. If it doesn't work, you have to adjust. And I'll just give you some facts. Mm-hmm. Obviously, he came in overpaying, but Eddie followed the same green print, and Eddie also had to dial it back. Like, you know, when you're a new company, you throw money so that you can get attention, but then you start to, reel it in.
I'll stand on that. But I shouldn't, like, for real. Rolly versus Tank is not a pay-per-view fight. I grew up on Meldrick Taylor, Chavez Sr. You know what I mean? Like, it's not comparable. That is a fight that makes Tank a household name. You know, a showcase knockout on when I was a kid, HBO, now it's Showtime. But now they're just greasing the palms, man. Like Chris Areola, Andy Ruiz, pay-per-view. January 1st.
I gotta stop you.
Go ahead.
When Andy won those belts, I'm on record saying I hope Al gets him out the contract and he fights Areola in the Valley in California. Like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Pay-per-view. Not on pay-per-view.
Again, I don't know what you're talking about. The first Mexican heavyweight ever in the world, and we're not gonna put him on pay-per-view versus another known Mexican in California?
I said pay-per-view.
I'm saying pay-per-view too. Like, from a marketing standpoint, it made sense to take the chance. Obviously, it didn't translate, but we're talking about the first ever Mexican heavyweight versus a very known, bad guy. Like, Areola fought both Klitschko's and Wilder. It doesn't come any tougher than that. Like,
I agree.
I think it was a calculated gamble that didn't work out.
He wasn't the champion. He's coming off of a loss. He lost half his fan base because of lack of discipline, lack of accountability. And you want to put him on pay-per-view? Make that make sense. All he had to do, for real, was show up in shape against Anthony Joshua, and it's a very competitive fight. I would say that fight, he probably lost 30% of his fan base guaranteed, because people said, you robbed us. You were a con. You were a thief. I lost a lot of respect because you didn't respect yourself and do your job. Get in shape, show up in Saudi Arabia. The man is eating pizza, man. The man is eating pizza. You understand what I'm saying? So it's not a calculated risk. It's robbery. It's Floyd Mayweather walking into Conor McGregor with the mask on, with the ski mask on. He did the ski mask way, and I thought they don't want to pay the salaries, so they put it on us. That's why these guys are fighting once a year now, and I don't like it. Chris Areola, Andy Ruiz is a sports building fight. You put it on free TV and you build it. Errol Spence is a pay-per-view guy now. Tank Davis against a quality opponent is a pay-per-view fight. Deontay Wilder made the ultimate sacrifice. He says, I'm not going to put my mandatory Dominic Brazil on pay-per-view. I'm going to take a pay cut and I'm going to fight for free. And he did it. And,
I don't know about all that shit. What is you talking about? We both know that Dazn was offering Deontay Wilder 20 for the Brazil, and Showtime matched it, or came very close to.
No, but what I'm saying is, it wasn't on pay-per-view.
Yeah, but that's obviously a financial. Come on, Fred, get the fuck out of here. You really gonna say? Hold on. You really gonna say Deontay Wilder could tell Showtime, the network, give me 20? And on top of that, I'm only taking your 20 if it's not on, like, I'm the network. I'm the network. I got to know what makes financials. I can't give you 20 million without knowing how I'm going to recoup.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is I'm looking at the end result. I'm not saying how we got there. That's up for discussion. That's up for debate. But I'm saying the result is Chris Areola, Andy Ruiz was on pay-per-view, Deontay Wilder and Dominic Breazeale was free, you know, and it ended up making him a star, you know, going into the Luis Ortiz fight and then the Tyson Fury trilogy, you know. So and I think he got everything out of boxing outside of the wins, you know, financially. And that's where we need to be. You know, the more free boxing, the better. People got to see Earl Spence for free before they pay for him. People got to see Tank Davis for free before they pay for him. You know, proof of concept. Hey, what's the name of that restaurant that got the best macaroni and cheese? I don't know. I ain't never been there.
But aren't they already showing proof of concept by continuously doing numbers in the green? Their numbers in the green because you got to understand their guaranteed purses, the numbers of pay-per-views they're selling, they're covering their guarantees and then some. 225,000 pay-per-views at $80 is a lot of money for what Tank makes.
Yeah. I'm not disagreeing with the results. I'm talking about the sport, making it bigger, like making them a bigger star.
But that's what I'm saying. We want to hold promoters accountable. I don't think they care about making it bigger. They only care about bottom line. Like they're a business.
Absolutely.
They got profit and loss, quarterlies, and they going off that. Like, what did we make this quarter versus last quarter? We got to tweak.
We'll never agree. Promoters and fans will never agree. You know, they're taking the risk. You know, we're taking the risk. $80 in an hour.
And that's why, Fred, that's why fans love, like the fans that watch it love the UFC. Because the UFC, you know, it's the fighters that have the issue because they're the ones being underpaid, right? But they're able to put 3 fucking championship fights on one pay-per-view because they're underpaying the fighters. So who's happy? The people paying, the fans, and then the UFC being a business is happy. It's the fighters that are unhappy in that situation. Here, it's the business and then the fighters and then the fans is like, damn.
You absolutely right. You absolutely right. It'll never be balanced.
Right. Somebody gonna get fucked. Somebody gonna get fucked.
Fulcrum will never be even. It's always gonna be slanted to one side or the other. You're absolutely right. And but you know, right now, we've had a hell of a run in boxing. You know, from April 1st until now. I give all these promoters credit, man. You know, it's just been a hell of a run from Bob Arum, Eddie Hearn to Al Haymon. They've done a hell of a job, man. We're getting what we want, man. Erickson Lubin and Fundora, phenomenal performance. Check this out. People not even talking about it. Stevie Fulton fights this Saturday.
Of course.
Against Danny Roman.
Of course.
A big fight. A big.
I don't know about all that, man. I don't know about all that. Because when Canelo or someone of the level fights, like if Crawford fought a non-champion, hypothetically, Sean Porter, people actually had negative things to say about that. So, like, why is Fulton fighting a dude that lost his belts a big fight?
I wouldn't say, correct me if I'm wrong, I spoke out of exuberation. No, it's not a big fight, but it's a good free fight. You understand what I'm saying? We get to see a potential pound-for-pound star for free alongside Devin Haney. So that's what I meant to say.
Full agreement, yeah.
Thanks for correcting me.
Yeah,
it's not a big fight.
Full agreement because, you know, whether people want to admit it, you know, Steph Fulton is a fighter who, regardless of who your list is, if he ain't on your top 10 pound for pound, which he probably ain't, truth be told, but he is maybe a fight or two away from getting there. So, you know,
give my man Reese Salim a shot, man.
Amen.
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 Why are we fighting Danny Roman, who lost a belt when undefeated Reese Salim's been waiting for his turn for about 3 fights?
Facts. And I don't know how true this is, but I spoke to PBC. PBC asked him to give up his WBC belt. And they basically promised him a Stevie Fulton fight. That's what I heard. You know what I mean?
Ask who?
He was the JV champion.
Right, Salim?
Yeah, he was the JV WBA champion.
Oh, WBA, because you said WBC.
Oh, I stand corrected. I'm sorry. WBA, and he had to give up that belt, but he gave up that belt with the verbal guarantee to fight Stevie Fulton, and it and it hasn't come to.
Well, hopefully,
there's a lot of verbal guarantees. Michelle Rivera is on, Broadway Joel's channel saying that he was told after he beat whoever he just beat, which I think was Adorno, and Tank beats Rolly, that he would get Tank. So
he would get Tank, and didn't he say also that PBC wanted him to change his name to Muhammad Ali?
They wanted him to legally. He told the interviewer they wanted him to legally change his name to Ali. To Ali.
Oh, to Ali.
Don't do it. Don't do that, man. That's nah. Nah, don't play yourself. You know what I mean? Don't play yourself.
Let me ask you though, are you okay with that fight in the interim? Obviously, Haney has to beat Kambosos twice, or Kambosos has to beat Haney twice.
I'm not okay with that. I'm not okay with that.
So what should Tank do while 35 is pretty much tied up? Tio moved up.
Lomachenko.
Loma's in the war. He ain't even been back. He ain't even posted.
Thank you for correcting me. Thank you for that. Where would Tank go?
There's nowhere, I don't think. Unless he moving up or down.
Gary Russell.
He's coming off the sholdder surgery. You gonna be willing to pay for that? Because they ain't putting Tank on free TV, so you gonna have to pay for Gary Russell.
We paid for Rolly.
Yeah, but at least Rolly had a puncher's chance. I mean, we talking about Gary coming off of not only his father's passing, which is already mentally tough, but then he's also coming off a shoulder injury. I mean, Haney was 22 or 21 coming off a shoulder injury. Like, he got them young genes to fix themselves and shit. It's a little different for Gary. He's older.
No, you're right. It makes sense. And Rolly fought him 14-0 and ain't fought no one on his level. Everyone he's fought was a D-level opponent outside of Jackson, so he got the opportunity. Gary Russell is an Olympian. He's seasoned. He has a fight this year. Was February he fought.
But how do you sell it? Like, at least Rolly had the mouth and the punching power.
They both from the DMV.
Yeah, but you got one dude coming off a loss and a shoulder injury, and he got to move up 2 weights to fight Tank at 35.
Come on, Fred. You know the next fight. The fight that makes sense. If you Tank right now is Ryan.
Yeah, you're right. That fight makes sense. But that's just a soap opera. Ryan Garcia is the leading actor of the boxing days of our lives. Like nothing ever comes to fruition with that man. He bets in a losing proposition. He bets Earl Spence $20,000 when he could have took that same $20,000 and got 20-1. You get what I'm saying? It makes no sense. His whole life makes no sense. I mean, as it pertains to boxing, I'm not taking $20,000 and doing a straight up bet with Earl Spence.
Bro, that's what I told Ness. But Ness, what'd you have to say about that?
It got him.
Ness was sleeping. All right, so let me repeat it.
Let me send this message. Because Ak and Barack both are watching separately. They text me and they both send their love to you. And
I love them dudes, man.
Yeah.
Barack is like my once a year we talk maybe, but we follow each other on Instagram. He's like a spiritual email. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for real, real.
And I throw on my Jordans with Ak, and we hit the pavement, man. You know what I mean? And I love them, man. What they've done for boxing, and I spoke about them about 20 minutes ago. What they've done for boxing and made it cool. Showtime should have hired them. They both from Brooklyn. Half the fights PBC do in Brooklyn. That's one of the biggest mistakes Steven Espinoza has ever made, is not hiring Ak and Barack. And it's just a catastrophe because the numbers that they do millions of views on Dazn, and it's important that, like I told you, Ness, we speak a different language now. It's not like I can define it, but you know it. Look how I'm talking. I have a college education. I haven't used no 4-syllable word. Not saying that we're uneducated to do that, but it's a language that we speak now. You know what I mean?
You got to be able to connect. You got to be able to connect with the people. You get what I'm saying? Because a perfect example, I'm not sure. I was asked yesterday, was I a square, right? I'm asked yesterday, was I a square? So Fred, I'm from Chicago, right? A square to me is a lane. So my response is, if you got to ask me, you must think I'm a lame. Why ask? But apparently that is the term used for, and I might misspeak, but a term used for men who are masonries or something like that. So that's what they was referring to based off the way I guess I stand or whatnot. But yo, it's like you gotta be able to connect. I couldn't connect to you. I don't know what the fuck you talking about. So if you got somebody who is talking about or speaking in a manner that doesn't hit home, that doesn't relate to me, why would I be as interested or intrigued outside of the obvious, right? So I can Barack talking about Javante. Yeah, okay, cool, it's Javante, but I can relate. They know how to hit home. They know how to reach me. You get what I'm saying? So I get what you're saying as far as that, you know, and bro, it's obvious, like it shows, and that's why these YouTube channels have been so successful. You get what I'm saying? That's why Marcos Villegas, a Hispanic man, has been able to get a channel over 1 million subs, and Ben Thompson, an African American man, has been able to get fight hype. You know,
that's what's funny with the people that run media. They act oblivious to the fact that it is the minorities that have the biggest channels in YouTube. Like,
no, we have the biggest impression on boxing. No, period. I don't go to ESPN for boxing. I ain't gonna lie. If something pops off in Vegas, I'm gonna go to Nest. If something pops off in New York, I'm gonna go to Blue Blood. You know what I mean? And that's just the reality of it, man. It's the truth is the truth, man. Kelly Swanson has to retire or die.
You're terrible, man.
No, I'm being 100.
That's like, a little
has to retire.
Yeah, but retire is a lot better than death.
Well, I'm just saying, like either she's gonna die doing her job or she's gonna retire, and whoever else is in that position, you know.
Wish her some growth. I wish her growth because I ain't gonna front. No one has a better Rolodex than Kelly Swanson. She's been doing it longer, so she's got to have numbers that we can't even get. Like,
well, how about you call her and get those numbers? Can you call her and get those numbers?
No. I get what you're saying, that she doesn't play nice with others, but that's why I'm saying let's wish her some growth, because if you're talking about doing the best for the sport, she's probably the person to do that. Floyd picked her for a reason. She just needs to, you know, we need to shave off some of them calluses. She feels not shelter, but yeah, maybe shelter. Like she doesn't want to deal with us. It feels like.
And Fred, and I'm not trying to be funny saying this. I know you ain't been in the media for a little bit. I will say
better.
I will say, look, let me.
I haven't been. I
literally told Ness, and it was so crazy. I'm like, yo, Kelly has been looking out so much. I show up, get my credential. They ain't got a food voucher. I ain't really tripping. I'm like, $25. I'm cool. So, but she heard that they ran out. So she's like, no, here's mine. Here's mine. Don't worry about it.
That's great.
You know,
that's funny.
You know, and just recently in Dallas too, Tyler, you shout out to Tyler from ES News. Me and him are in line at the hotel, done working, getting a snack. Oh, don't worry about it. I got it. You know, and you know, for me and other, whenever we've had issues, you know, so I'm with Ness. I gotta give it to her because as far as
I'm out the loop. The last conversation.
The last time I had an interaction with Kelly was in Miami for the Floyd Logan at the Versace house. And, you know, it wasn't a good reaction. I mean, a good interaction because I wasn't expecting her to be as friendly. Right, like got to the desk and she's like, oh, so Floyd brought you out because, you know, I don't really go out. So her being playful like that, I'm like, okay, wow. You know what I'm saying?
You know what, Fred? And I think a lot of it too, like I said, man, I think that they've started to notice and they've started to realize, you know, we can't do it without y'all.
I mean, but think about it. Again, there has been change, but it's been long, so I get your frustration. But Sean Zattel works for PBC. He's a writer for PBC, and there's another guy that was a YouTuber that's an editor for the PBC podcast. I don't want to say his name.
Yep.
You know, but there's a lot of people. I mean, Marcos Villegas got hired by Fox. You know, Raheem.
Him and Michelle did things for Dazn. I know.
I think things are changing
for me.
And that's
I just think guys like you and myself, we were a little more aggressive than the rest, we probably rubbed people off, you know, a little bit differently than others, and it's gonna take a little bit longer for them to come around to us because, I know for me at any day, I could flip in the sense that I'm going to be like, hey, what happened in that fight? Where that fighter's not going to like that. He's not going to like that. He's like, yo, I thought you was my dog. Why are you bringing up that fight from 3 fights ago? It's like, what happened in that fight, though? You know what I'm saying? So they don't like that. And that's probably why, we on the outside. They need people that's going to. So, for instance, like, I get into it with Ak and Barack all the time because it's like they say and do certain things and they're like, yo, everything ain't for everybody. And I get that. I do, but it's hard for me to live by that. You understand? Like, I feel like certain questions are for everybody, and it's unfair to ask those questions in the dark because people are seeking those answers.
Sure, and you're right. I don't know what you speak of, but I'll say this. Getting back to Sean's intel, I've known Sean since, I think Sean is doing a marvelous job. I really love how he is committed to the sport of boxing. He's a historian. He's a young historian. And I like how he carves out his relationships and maximizes them. So for him, I've seen his growth, from being a guy who smokes weed in the parking lot to now he is really an aficionado and an important person in the sport of boxing. So congratulations to him. And
hell yeah, man. Most of the interviews, like, because Fight Hype is so big and they're everywhere that most of the content is Sean actually interviewing people. Yeah,
he does a phenomenal job, man. He does. He's A1. He does a phenomenal job. I don't think I've ever told him that. And I think all of us do a phenomenal job. We have our weaknesses, we have our flaws. The beautiful thing is now they gotta get down and lay down with you. You had Fundora immediately after his fight. You know how bad PBC wanted that content? Think about that.
Hold on, Fred.
Keyshawn too.
Keyshawn, silver medalist, Keyshawn Davis the morning after, co-headline in the MGM Grand Garden Arena.
Yeah, I don't think they got to get down with us. Yeah, I think we're still massive work to be done, but I am of that mindset. I want to grind till they have to sit down. I hate the treatment that we receive. So, I do want this chair to be the hot spot so that everybody wants to get there. But I don't think it's done. I still need Earl and Terrence to sit down. Until they sit down, we ain't done.
They're gonna have to, because you can't be the A side forever. Look at Floyd. Floyd is not popular. I don't know when's the last Floyd interview I watched. I'm be honest. Not because I don't like him. I don't watch his. What is he gonna say? I'm the richest man in the world. I got a Maybach. He doesn't say anything that changes. You know what I mean? His interviews are the same. I'm rich. You're poor. I got a Maybach. You don't. I got a jet. You don't. I'm fighting an exhibition.
I make good business decisions.
I
left the business with all my faculties in order.
It's the same interview for the last 10 years. So when people, like they send me the interview, I'm like, I know what he's gonna say, so I don't have to watch it. You know what I'm saying? No disrespect to him, but it is what it is. And maybe that's media training. Say the same thing over and over again, no matter what they ask you. Hey, Floyd, is the sky blue? Oh, I got a blue Maybach I just bought for $333,000.
Fred, you silly as hell.
I think I'm gonna change.
Fred, you silly, man.
Yeah, like for example.
I seen your post. You said. And I'm paraphrasing, but basically you said Floyd's, let's just say, personality didn't allow him to show up to Tank's fight to promote. So just give us some clarity to your post, please.
Yeah, please. Floyd had 4 fighters on that card. Jaleel Hackett, who's 3-0 at the time, Luis Arias, Rolly Romero, and Tank Davis. Maybe he had more. I don't know, but those are the 4 that I know. He's mad at Tank. Their relationship will never be 100. It's public at this point. You take my girl and do that what you want with her. We could never be 100%, right? TMZ covered it, everybody. That's neither here nor there. But you got Rolly Romero, who's 14-0. You got Jaleel Hackett, who you signed. You got Luis Arias, who you just signed. Respect them and go.
Leonard Ellerby.
I don't want to hear that.
Yeah, but what about Leonard being there? You can't say.
Hold on.
No, hold on. Because you can't say you don't want to hear that. You're a boss. Your company is your company. There will come a time where you're gonna need a CEO. You can't be everywhere, Fred. Well, so what you gonna? So you want me and people like me to say, man, fuck Fred's CEO. Fred ain't show up, so Fred don't care.
One of Floyd's biggest comments during the Canelo is, you didn't show up for your biggest fighters because you were in rehab. Remember that?
Yeah, to Oscar.
To Oscar. Well, you had a press conference on the same day your fighter had a press conference, right? How about you show up and be a man? Because you're not just promoting Tank Davis, you're promoting your promotion to the world. I am a promoter. I am doing my job. I am doing my responsibilities. Just like I mentioned, Andy Ruiz, the man got fat. The man was eating pizza before the weigh-in. You get what I'm saying? Like, you gotta hold true to what you said that you're gonna do. What you created the job. Now honor with the job that you created. You chose to be the promoter, not me. That's your job.
But no, Fred, I was gonna say, Leonard, when asked, he said that Floyd had a family emergency to tend to.
So, I know. And Floyd got social media too. You know?
Well, he posted Tank on his social.
No, I'm talking about if you have a family emergency, post it on your social media.
Yeah, come on, Fred.
So
Fred,
now you want him to prove it by posting
Fred,
it?
come on.
I didn't say prove it.
Come on, Fred. He didn't post. When the mother of his children died, he took his time to post. When Uncle Roger died,
listen to what I'm saying. I have a family. You guys go out and promote the fight. I have a family emergency. I can't attend. Here's the link to order the pay-per-view.
Bro, he don't have to do that. He's
the promoter.
No, I hear you. I'm with Fred. I've been saying that he got to use that fucking Instagram to promote his fighters. He's right. Put that shit in a story. Swipe up. Click the link. It's true. You got 20, 30, 40, 60 million followers, man.
Bro, but if you dealing with an emergency.
Danny, you got the account to the Boxing Voice. Stop making excuses for Floyd. Somebody else can have the account to Floyd fucking social media.
Very much true. Very much true.
Akichi.
Very much true. Very much true. But what I'm saying is, if he took his time when it came to the death of Uncle Roger to make a post about it.
I'm not saying that. You can't physically be there. You could be cyberly anywhere in the world.
Yep.
Okay, you're not there. Tank Davis is fighting.
Imagine a little story that he do, like, yo, man, I'm sorry. I'm dealing with something right now, but I want to send my love to my superstar Tank. Make sure y'all go check out. I get what you're saying, but I'm also putting myself in Floyd's shoes and saying that I don't know what he was going through and whether or not he could muster up the energy to do that.
Yeah, Floyd would say you can't afford his shoes. But the point
I definitely can't.
The point I'm making is we have a job. You show up, right? Mm-hmm. I show up every night, 7:30 Pacific Standard Time. I show up. If I can't make it, guys, no live tonight. I'm traveling. I'm moving. It is what it is. I see you guys tomorrow.
Yep.
Simple.
Common courtesy.
Fred, but what I'm saying is, bro, God forbid, right? God forbid. But God forbid, you get into an accident or some, bro, anything.
Right.
Like, for all we know, Floyd could have been en route to the fight and something came up.
What about the fact that Mayweather Promotions Instagram, who has over 1 million followers, was posting heavily?
No, I commend them for that. I don't think Leonard Ellaby is a great promoter. I build stars. That's Floyd Mayweather. Stop putting that in plural formation. I don't think Leonard Ellaby is great at what he does.
Well, you wouldn't consider Badu Jack a star? He's from Sweden and is a household name in America?
No, I wouldn't consider Badu Jack a star. I would consider Badu
He's fought on all the biggest cards in the world, and he's from Sweden. He's not even American.
So has Riverside Rocky. So has Sean Porter. They're not stars.
I don't know that Sean's fought on all the biggest cards because, again, Sean's never been on a Pacquiao or a Floyd card or a Canelo card.
But that's what I'm saying. You said they fought everybody.
No, I said they fought on the biggest cards. I'm talking about Badu has fought on the big. He's been on, Mayweather McGregor, Mayweather Pacquiao, Mayweather anything.
Berto.
So has Riverside Rocky. He's not a star.
Nah, he just fought Canelo.
But these are just like people in boxing that people know, but they're not stars. They're like
star in boxing though, no?
Nah.
Not even?
Nah.
Badu's not even a star in boxing.
Badu is a great human being. I wouldn't consider him a star. Like he is popular.
But he's
popular.
from Sweden, and we know him in
star.
America.
He fought, and no one knew he fought 2 weeks ago.
I mean, that was in Dubai.
It don't matter. He's a star, right? So people should know.
I knew he fought for it.
Yeah, because you have a show. Yeah, you have a show. You know he fought. That's your job to get it out to the people. I love Badu Jack. Classy man, takes care of his family. He prays 5 times a day. I've had private comments. One of the greatest men in this current era of boxing. I don't think he's a star. I think he's popular. I think I think more boxers should have his integrity.
What about Fred? Okay, so what if Ness told you, maybe not a star, what if that they put fighters in positions that nobody else could?
Yes.
I mean, like, let's,
like Rolly. Like Rolly. Rolly's 14-0, the first fighter ever that I know in the last 11 fucking years to be on pay-per-view with 14 fights.
I would say... I would say they con.
Yo, you the almanac. The almanac. Is there someone else?
I mean, I think you picked okay example, but I mean, come on, like Badu Jack, literally, like, come on, this man, for him to come.
You think Badu Jack is a star?
No, but I'm saying, like, who else was gonna do what they did with Badu Jack?
With a guy from Sweden.
Who else was gonna do that,
Matter of fact, Fred, name another boxer from Sweden. If you think Badu's not popular, name the number 2 Sweden boxer.
I'm not in Sweden.
But that's what I'm telling you, that they don't exist.
No, but Fred,
he made him a household name, Fred. He made him a household name.
I don't think he's a household name, dog.
Who?
Badu Jack?
You think Badu Jack is a household name?
I think the average boxing fan knows Badu.
But that's not a household name. That's literally the opposite.
Okay, my bad.
That's the opposite. But still, with Mayweather Promotions, they were Badu, with Ashley Theophane, with, like, come on, these guys. Fred, these guys got opportunities nobody else would have.
Fred, name another promoter who's gonna give Ashley Theophane
a Broner fight.
Two title shots plus a Danny Garcia fight.
Oh my gosh, you guys are just
you just not seeing the opportunity.
Theophane is not a star.
No, we're not saying he stars. We're not saying. We're saying that Mayweather Promotions put fighters like Badu Jack, Ashley Theophane,
Louis
Cubas Arias, Jalen Love. Like, they put these fighters in positions.
Even Michael, the kid, Kevin Newman.
Kevin Newman. Like,
the other one too that fought Jamel Herring.
Ladarius Miller. They put these fighters in positions that no other promoter could have put them in.
Huh? Think about this.
Look at Keyshawn Davis.
Think about this.
No. Fred,
think about this.
Come on, like, I'm speaking literally. Like, who was gonna get Badu Jack and get him on 10 pay-per-view undercards? Come on, man.
There's a lot of fighters that I don't see the connection there. That's their stable. They have to use their stable with which they have.
But that's what I'm saying. How are those guys getting opportunities though?
Because
the opportunity,
that's their fighter.
But they're getting that opportunity because being with Mayweather, and that's what he's saying, that no one else.
Okay.
No one. Like, think about some of Luther Bella fighters.
My bad if I worded it. I
get that.
Confusing or something.
No, you're right.
Because Junior Fa's been with Lou DiBella his whole career, and he only got one fight, and that shit was in fucking his home country in New Zealand.
No, you're right.
And he lost.
You're right. Floyd is a thing that you can't compare. He's like Haley's Comet. Get what I'm saying? In terms of, like, the opportunity that you're going to get. But the only one to come out of that is Tank Davis. Yeah, you had the opportunity, but the only star to come out of that is Tank Davis. He's had Jay Leon and Mickey Bay and that whole squad for a long time, but Tank Davis is the only person to come out,
But think about it, Fred. If you're Badu Jack, who came from Sweden, and you started off, having to walk to the Mayweather gym and take the bus there, to now you're a multimillionaire who has been on the biggest cards in the world, and who has been opportunities outside of boxing as well, because I know he does plenty charitable things as well. Like, come on, like Badu goes home, Badu's a star. And I get what you're saying, and I don't agree with Nuts, because household is, you got to walk down the street and I know who you are. So I agree with you, but the work Mayweather Promotion has done with their fighters and put them in these positions, to me, it's like with the fighters they've done it with, no other promoter to me could have done that with the fighters they've done that with.
Okay, now you got to work. Now I want to see proof of concept, or was it just Floyd Mayweather? Andrew Tabiti just fought in Texas on a card that no one spoke of.
No, we did. See, we spoke about it again today before you got here.
No, I'm talking about, I watched your show. I'm talking about like boxing. Like,
yes.
Mayweather Promotions didn't promote it.
That's true.
You promoted it. I promoted it on my platform. So now, is it the Floyd Mayweather effect or is it Leonard Ellerbe? No, it's the Floyd Mayweather effect. Now they got to promote now. Now they got to do their job. Richardson Henderson begged for a fight so bad they gave him a non-televised fight. You know what I mean? Anybody can be a great promoter when Jesus is in charge. You know what I mean? I mean, Floyd Mayweather was Jesus. You know, he was the Black Moses. You know, so you can't go wrong with that man. You know, Floyd Mayweather burnt money. Here's how powerful the Floyd Mayweather brand was in his prime. He said, Justin Bieber said a nigger joke. He's still my friend. I'm gonna side with Donald Sterling. He's my friend. He was the Teflon Don. He was literally the Teflon Don. Nothing can touch Floyd. You understand what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I want to see what you do in 2022. I want to see you put your own cards on in Vegas on a Thursday night. I want to see you put the money up and stop depending on Steven Espinoza for the bag. I want to see you promote. Have we seen it? Sam's Town will probably give Floyd the place for free. Ain't nobody going there Monday through Wednesday.
Yeah, no, you right, because I swear to God, I didn't even know Sam's Town existed if it wasn't for Mayweather Promotions. Yo, Mayweather Promotions. I was there. I remember the week of Mayweather McGregor when Jamel Herring lost to Memphis.
Right.
So, but it's like that was a Tuesday. What the fuck I'm gonna go do at Sam's Town on a Tuesday if it ain't go watch a Mayweather Promotions card?
You're exactly right. And Floyd could blow that thing up, man. Floyd is losing his cachet, but he still got a chance to be the king of boxing. And I hope he gets it right. I hope he falls out of love with himself and in love with boxing again. And I think his fighters will reap the benefits of it. I think boxing will reap the benefits of it. Every YouTube channel and media will reap the benefits of Floyd Mayweather falling back in love with boxing. You know, and I don't know. Yeah,
I do wish he was more like Eddie.
Yes.
You know, a talker, you know, antagonizing other promoters, consistently posting on his social media about his fighters. I really wish he was like Eddie.
Nah, and Eddie is one of one. You know, I don't respect the fact that he defended his father's slave comments about the contracts. But outside of that, look what he's doing to Leonard Ellerbe. Look how he's minimized Leonard Ellerbe. You can't do a Leonard Ellerbe interview without asking about Eddie Hearn. That means Eddie Hearn is more powerful now. You get what I'm saying? That means he's stolen the gamut from a guy who had Floyd Mayweather. You know, Leonard Ellerbe got to create his own identity now. You know, I challenge Leonard Ellerbe a lot, but I actually like Leonard, you know what I mean? Because I want him to win. I don't like how they're doing their business practices. I don't like how so many fighters had to leave TMT. I don't like how the business of boxing stole their paychecks and stuff like. See, I know all these stories. I know too much, so I'm not going to divulge any information. But Leonard knows, and Leonard got to do the right thing by those fighters and start promoting. He got to start putting on events. He's a CEO, right? So Mayweather Promotions needs a day every other week in Vegas. You know, whether it's the 2-0 fighters, 3-0 fighters, and they have a chance to be signed. Like Oscar used to, when Oscar was hot, that's how I got popular, you know, like doing the Golden Boy fights, you know, and challenging Oscar to the point where he blocked me, you know. That's when I was on the newspaper side, you know. But Floyd, they got a shot. They got a shot, and I want them to win. I don't challenge people and then say, go to hell and do that. I don't care that much. I really don't care, you know. My life is beautiful. I'm moving into a 7-bedroom, 7-bath mansion on Friday. Life is great, you know, and I just want these men to win. And I'm holding them accountable to who they say they were when they spoke to me. And I hope that Leonard Ellerbe gets it right. You know, he got Jaleel Hackett, who I haven't seen him fight as a pro yet, but I hear he's good. He's 4-0. I want him to succeed. I want Luis Arias to succeed. I love Andrew. And I don't even know Andrew Tabiti, but I knew when Andrew Tabiti lost overseas, if they pull him back and build him for 3 more fights, he's going to be a world champion. And they didn't do it. They left him. They literally left Andrew Tabiti on that mat when he got knocked out. They haven't mentioned his name. They haven't promoted him. They haven't done anything. And I think that it's all coming.
Well, they had to sign off on that Davies Entertainment deal, which is getting them back in the mix and getting them back active.
Sure. I don't like that. Yeah, come on.
My man says, sure.
Yeah.
They some pretty, I was talking about it earlier. They some pretty good looking cards. Like the dude's spending money.
Yeah, he is spending money. He has a great audience down there in Texas. But it's not a Floyd Mayweather promotion card.
Very true.
Let's just call it a buck. And when you got Richardson and Hitcherson who's begging, hey, he's tweeting Leonard Ellerbe and Floyd Mayweather, I need a fight. He makes Floyd brags about buying $300,000 cars. You mean you can't pay this guy to get on a card? Your Birkin, you can't say I'm not gonna buy a Birkin bag this weekend. I'm not gonna wear. You know what? I'm not gonna buy these purple Mary J. Blige high heel boots. You know what I mean? I'm gonna use that money to promote Richardson Hitcherson this weekend. You know what I mean? Why not? You know what I mean? Why? Would you wear those boots?
I don't think I could pull them off, Fred.
Nah, you gotta be rich for that.
No, not just that. Well, yes, it is that because it's a couple things, Fred. You know, I'm losing weight, but
congratulations.
But I'm a little too big for those boots. And another thing, bro, those boots require a lot of jewelry that I just don't have. Like you got to have the accessories for the fit. Floyd able to pull that off.
Yeah, nah. It's only one definition of masculinity, man. I don't give a fuck what nobody said. They want to change it. This society want to change it and say, hey, you do this, you do that. A man is a man, a woman is a woman, dog. And they try and trick us to make us believe that a man is other than a man. Nah, it ain't that. Floyd is on some metrosexual stuff, and it's weird. It's weird, man. All these men, like I used to get on Adrian Broner and Tank. I like Tank. Those are some ugly shoes, but they cost a lot of money. They still ugly. You know what I mean? I used to always get on Adrian Broner. Why are your pants so small? Like, why do you buy pants to show your underwear? You literally buy pants. You spend $350 on a pair of pants just to show your $13 boxer briefs.
Not if they Versace's.
It don't make it right though.
No, I hear you.
It's retarded.
But Fred, the beauty about it that you can say that, have your opinion, and nobody gonna give a fuck, or some people may give a fuck, but people could do like, people tell me, oh, shave your head. Well, motherfucker, fuck you. I don't want to shave my head. I'm a bald in peace. You get what I'm saying? Because I like it. God damn it. My mama tell me, shave your beard. You look ugly. I said, it don't matter. She don't like it. I love it. Tank, Floyd, come on, Fred.
Yeah, no, he can do what he wants.
Fred, I need you to hear this. Let me get a screen share, Austin.
Now, Mr. Ellerbe, the last time we spoke, I asked about one of your fighters. He fought last weekend. Richardson Hitchens coming off a stoppage in the 4th round. What's your reaction to his performance?
I talked to him earlier today.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, just really excited about what lies ahead for him. Rich is he's an exciting, young, super talented fighter, again, who's definitely on the path to win a world title. And again, just really excited about his future. Really, really excited.
Right, and it's a stacked division with Josh Taylor, and I believe he gave up one of his titles. He vacated it.
Yeah. It's like we have a plan for him, and Richardson's definitely going to be fighting for a world title sooner than most people think.
Wow.
Shots fired at Fred.
Oh, yeah.
Richardson going to be in a title fight sooner than most people think. That was May 26th, so that's only, 4 days ago.
Yeah, that's 4 days ago. And what are you supposed to say? Man, we're totally screwing up Richardson Hitcherson's career, man. He was right by putting out that tweet that I need to fight. I'm not fighting enough. So we put him on a non-televised fight in Arizona when Tank Davis is coming to Brooklyn. I know he should have fought in Brooklyn, but you know what? I have an ego, and I'm not. And Mayweather Promotions don't have the budget to put him in that slot. So we're going to give that slot to Samson because he can afford that slot. And that fighter's purse is not going to be on part of our budget. Samson is going to pay that purse for his fighter to be in that slot. That's simple. That's basically the truth. You know, that non-televised slot got him what, $70,000, $80,000. Like I said, if Floyd don't buy those purple boots and Leonard Ellerbe don't buy them fuchsia flowered blazers, then Richardson Hitchin can get a slot. You know, but they gotta spend their money, man. You know what I mean? And invest in the future, right? Mayweather Promotions, the past, the present, and the future of sports and entertainment. Well, you got the entertainment part down. You know what I mean? How about the sports? And I'm going to hold them to it. And when they succeed, I'm going to give them credit. It's like I gave Al Haymon credit this weekend. Phenomenal. I gave Eddie Hearn credit for the girls. Phenomenal. I'm not going to not give a man credit for what he honestly worked for. Ness, I didn't like you for a year, but that doesn't say if I don't see your growth, I'm like, man, he balling over there. He balled. Blue Blood started the channel after me. He's the king of this. That's not me. That's not me. And I'm the guy when we travel. I don't care how rich you are, how poor you are. I pay for everything. Like, hey, everybody come with me. Let's go hang out. I don't care if you rich, poor, got 2,000 subs, 2 million subs. You get what I'm saying? I'm not that guy, but I'm going to hold you accountable for who you say you are. That's all it is. And I know like you or similar to you, most people not going to like me. It's okay. I unlock my front door. You know what I mean? And next week I'll be doing videos in my pool next week. You know what I mean? Having a great time. And I genuinely want all of us to win. I'm not anti, I just don't budge. You know, I don't budge on what I believe to be the truth. And if you say it, I'm gonna hold you to it. Leonard Ellerbe said Mayweather Promotions is the best promotional company in the world. Well, I'm gonna hold you to that. I'm gonna hold you to that standard. And he hasn't. They failed their fighters. We just listed last two fighters. Richardson Hitchison is fighting on non-televised, and Andrew Tabiti is fighting on Davies Sports and Entertainment. Meanwhile, Mayweather Promotions has a card in Brooklyn.
Yo, but they need more cards. They got a lot of fighters. Can't put everybody on Brooklyn.
Exactly. And that's the whole point. Listen, how much would a card cost? 250,000? 250,000?
Depends. That seems low, man. How much you paying the fighters and who's fighting?
That's what I'm saying. Like you can have these up and coming cards. You know, you paying these guys $5,000 and $10,000.
Yeah, no, I will agree. We gotta end it, but I will end it with this saying that, you know, Floyd's cachet, his favor with CBS and Espinoza, he should have started or restarted the ShoBox. He has enough fighters between he and Al, and then guys like Samson where they can do a ShoBox, but no one wants to pay or rather fight ShoBox money anymore, bro. These guys, everybody wants that big bucks now.
Well, guess what they can do? He has a great relationship with Fight Hype. You're in Vegas. Guess what?
Build them up?
No, Sean Zintel and Ness commentate. Danny does the ring stuff. Fly somebody else in to do the background stuff. And guess what? You got it for damn near cheap. Pay y'all what y'all worth and put it on your YouTube channel and put it on Fight Hype's YouTube channel. And you don't have to worry about networks and all that and do it that way. But it's more than one way to skin the cat. And that's why I'm interviewing with you right now, because you and I both figured out there's more than one way to slice this cake and skin this cat. And that's why we have a voice in boxing. And I don't minimize my voice. I know how powerful I am. Al Haymon got 3 black fighters on that Juneteenth card. Last year, he had 1. I know my value, and you're not going to minimize me, and I'm not going to shut up.
That was your idea. I felt like that was your idea, too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was, because I brought it to Steven Espinoza 4 or 5 years ago. Now, I'm not going to take exclusive credit. You know, there's a lot of black media platforms, LDBC, New Media, Champside. I'm just the guy that had the access. I can't take their credit. You know, I had the access, and when I had access to Steven Espinoza, I asked him. And here we are. I put 200 people, 150, at least 150 people in Houston, $5,000 out of my pocket, you know, that paid for that event in Houston on Juneteenth when he fought Brandon Adams. Danny was there. We had a great time. We went and had soul food after. We had a great time. You know, Danny got a haircut that he should tell you the story about.
Man, fucked me up, man. I said, Fred, what the fuck you done brought me to? Fred say, bro, I got a community event I'm doing. I would love for you to come. I say, absolutely. I need to get a haircut. Don't worry, it's at a barbershop, man. They fucked me up, man. Nah, she put about a half gallon of Beijing on my head.
But
Fred, before we let you go though, prediction for Saturday night for us.
I'm all in on Devin Haney, man. Like what he's up against is literally the toughest fight that anyone can possibly have. No father, by yourself, the biggest moment of your career, and quite possibly the most defining moment of your young career. And that's why I didn't want to challenge, because it's not their obligation, but I'm going to say this now. Canelo got on a private jet, flew to Saudi Arabia, and supported Andy Ruiz. Black fighters need to show their support, hop on that private jet. His father can't go, and either fly to Vegas and watch the fight with Mr. Haney, or use their power of influence, hop on a jet and go to Australia and be there for Devin Haney.
You know that Johnny Rice is going? He leaves tomorrow. He's going to be there till June 9th. To support Devin.
Yeah, he's an awesome guy, man. Hey, isn't he a fun follow on Instagram?
Man,
he's fun, great. Period.
He's great.
I can't wait to meet him.
I never knew he was like that. He's such a great guy.
Yeah, man.
I can't wait to meet him. And so man, you know, my skin, I'm getting goosebumps now just thinking about that fight, man. It's because I know what he's up against. You know, I really know what he's up against. I don't know what's going to happen over there, but I'm all in on Devin Haney. I'm all in on Devin. I would say split decision victory, which will be a unanimous decision here in America. Devin, and take it from your godfather, TBE, Green Print, just win. Al Davis, just win, baby. Don't fall. You only got to see that Australian crowd 2 times in your life. Just win. And if it takes a boring fight for you to win the goddamn fight. And come home and spend time with your family, your beautiful family. Yeah. And I look forward to sending him a text Tuesday, Wednesday. Congratulations. You know, I look forward to calling Mr. Haney on Tuesday, Wednesday. Congratulations. You did it. Your plan worked. I was wrong, you know, and I'm all in on Devin, man, because Devin reminds me of me a little bit, you know. Cornball, like you said, cornball, charismatic, but, you know, real straight up and down guy, respectful, gentlemanlike. And that's why I'm so hard on Devin. I'm extra hard on Devin on purpose. Extra hard on Devin, because I never want him to compromise and fall into that gangster mentality. That's why I post how I post. That's how I talk to him, you know, and I don't want him to compromise who his mother and his father instilled in him. I don't want him to say, hey, I got to be gangster. I got to be tough. No, Devin, you are an upstanding young man. You are special because you've done it without saying, go get the gun. And that's what they want us to do. You know, whether you're black or brown, they want to say, oh, I came from the toughest environment. No, you didn't. Your dad had money before you started boxing. You understand? And I root for Devin hard, and that's why I'm hard on him. And when he's 40, I'm going to tell him I was hard on you on purpose. I'm glad you made it. I will be sitting in one of them rows when he gets inducted into the Hall of Fame. And I don't need to ever take a picture with him or hang out with him in the club or be his best friend. I don't have that desire, but I want to hold him to the characteristics that I hold my son. I'm raising him similar to how I believe I'm raising my son similar with the character and integrity similar to how I'm raising Lincoln, you know? cut off all the fat. You ain't got to be gangster to be tough. Mommy and daddy already made it. Your mom's a doctor. Dad's an Emmy-nominated film producer. You ain't got to play that role. You know what I mean? You ain't got to be tough. And
don't you feel it's kind of backwards? Like it seems like what you're describing is kind of what George is playing in the build up to, or attempting to play in the build up to this fight.
Yeah, he's a clown.
You get what I'm saying? And I'm gonna be honest, we had one of the Maloney brothers. Well, we had both of them on recently. I don't remember which one it was that said that, you know, he's not that popular out there, and that a lot of people do dislike that about George. And Devin pointed it out in the press conference yesterday evening. I'm sure you saw. Yo, that was like, I'm like, damn, like me communicating public information to you now all of a sudden, you know, I ain't even gonna repeat the.
No, you're right. Long before that though, the man came out to many men, wish death upon me. Blood. What are you, Anthony Joshua now? Who is he? Like, come on, man. Let's just keep it a buck. Devin.
He had blood in his eyes and he couldn't see.
Yeah. Man, come on, man. Kambosos is playing this character. Devin, make weight, show up. I'll be there. You'll be there. Not physically. I'll be there spiritually.
I got denied. I was denied entry.
You were?
I was denied entry. I was supposed to leave tonight.
And you're a military guy.
Bro, yeah, and so I had an arrest during my time in the military. I had an arrest during my time in the military, you know, and the shit went to trial. I'm found not guilty. And I'm showing, I went with my, you know, I showed them my military paperwork showing that I got out of the military January 5th of this year honorably. You know, I served 2 tours since my arrest. When you left. That, you know, they didn't care about none of that. They said that I can retry with a work visa. And they asked me, why didn't you apply for a work visa? I said, y'all, transition process is 3 months. I didn't have 3 months. So they telling me for the rematch that I can do it, and you know that they could grant an exception. So
well, I hope you're there for the rematch. I genuinely hope it works out for you. But I want every fighter that's an American fighter that has access and the privilege and the financial freedom to go support Devin Haney. It's going to add value to your career. And the Haneys will be forever grateful, and boxing fans will be forever grateful. So I'm gonna talk about it tonight. I'm glad you brought up this question. I challenge every fighter.
And I know that there is a couple going. And I know Clarissa even posted that she was thinking about going.
Yep.
I think didn't Earl tweet something about it as well?
My God, that's beautiful. That's beautiful, man. And it's not just a black thing. I think Americans should go support Kambosos, because if Devin brings back them belts, guess what? It adds commerce to boxing.
So why would Americans support Kambosos?
No, that's what I'm saying. I say if you're an American fighter, it's not just black fighters should go. I think Latino American fighters should go. You know, Asian.
But to support Devin, you're saying?
Yeah, to support.
Got
Devin,
you.
Man. To support Devin. I've been to Australia 5 times, man. It's a long flight, and but it's well worth it. Fly Qantas, you know, it's. Yeah,
that's who I was flying. Well, it's supposed to be flying out of LAX, because that's the only closest nonstop.
Yeah, Tom Bradley, man. And so I wish Devin well. I have him by split decision. It would be a unanimous decision if they fought in Vegas, but I think he'll win by split decision. You know, and hey, I thought, are you guys gonna have Mr. Haney in studio for that fight?
Nah, man. You know he's gonna be on the Top Rank iPad, man. Hopefully, I get to talk to him before. I did send him a message asking him could he, you know, come, but I doubt it, man. I think a moment like that and whatever Top Rank is setting up for him. Right. You know, it might be at his house, but I did speak it into the universe this episode and say, shit, you know, we got internet here if he wants to fucking, you know, have Top Rank set it up over here.
For sure.
Right. Call Bob, because Bob don't want to pay. Like Bob, if you have Bob's cell number, I know you have Bob's cell, so call Bob and he'll say that's a great idea, because Bob loves saving money on the bottom line. You know, like, and keep it a buck. Like, Bob is Bob. He's 91 years old, man. And like I said at the top of this interview, when you know someone's thirsty, you bring water. When you know someone's hungry, you bring food. And I've learned over the years how to communicate to Bob Arum. And now you see our interviews, we cool. You know, I can ask him anything. I just got to know how to ask it. I can't ask it like a raging black man. You know what I mean? So I ask it like I'm a normal human being, and we have a good relationship. So, and I wish Al Haymon would do interviews. You know, I wish Al Haymon would.
I wish Al Haymon would do interviews.
Yeah, man, it's
Al needs someone to be his Eddie, man. But listen, Fred, give out your
Appreciate y'all.
social media, baby.
Yeah,
give out your
Silent
social media.
Heroes, man. Thank you, dog. Checks and balances, man.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is this one?
Checks and balances, man. Make sure everybody.
My bad, Bill.
Go ahead.
What's
I got Bill Haney in here, Fred. Thank you so much.
Oh, I was just talking about.
Yeah, I know, man. Crazy.
Hey, you say his name 3 times.
He
Three
popped up
times.
like candy, man.
3 times.
Hey, I love you, Bill. Good luck. And I don't know if you're listening to the show, man, but I'm intentionally hard on y'all because I love y'all. And
Hold on, Fred. Hold on,
Yeah, he's
hold on,
putting the
Fred.
headphones
He
on
putting the
now.
headphones on.
I'm
So
all in on the Haney this week. I'm all in. I'm all in.
Now he can hear you because now he got the headphones. So
I said I don't know if you heard me before the show, man. I was like, I'm hard on Devin because he reminds me of me. Cornball character, but great integrity. I'm talking about to the outside world, and I don't want him to compromise that he got to be a thug to be successful. He can be an upstanding human being and get the millions to the green print, as you call it, and serve his community, you know? And I'm all in this weekend. I'll be watching. That'll be the first fight I'll be watching in my mansion, Mr. Haney. And I'll be on. And thank you. I'll be at my pool watching the fight, moving in. I'll have workers installing and reinstalling and doing that stuff. But I'm gonna be at the pool watching the fight, man. And I'm gonna pretend I'm smoking a cigar. And I just pray y'all get it done. I really have you guys as a split decision win because it's in Australia. It will be a unanimous decision if it was in Vegas. And I genuinely love y'all. Like I'm just who I am is who I am. But I really I swear before God, as God is my witness, I want y'all to win, come back, serve your community, go beat his butt again, come back, and I hope Bob Arum don't play no shenanigans with the third fight. And if he plays shenanigans with the third fight, you know Fred Hawthorne gonna call his ass out, you know. And good luck, and hopefully you beat undisputed champion, what you've always wanted, man, this Saturday.
Absolutely, absolutely. Inshallah.
Inshallah, right?
Yes,
Inshallah,
sir.
Man.
God willing, and you know, congratulations to you and your many achievements. What I want to do, and I want to make sure that I do, coming from the place that I done came from, is the word cornball. It's not cool. The cornballs that call individuals that are very focused and driven on whatever that drives them, wherever their passionate lies, should never be called a cornball. Right. Those are driven individuals. Right. You've showed the drive and the resiliency to continue to do what you've been doing, to have the platform that you have. So, you know what I mean. I want to take that word cornball. Let's tear that joint up and throw that away, because some of the slickest guys around the world, you know what I mean, over the time have called guys cornballs, and turned out they were the cornballs. So
right,
you know what I mean. But man, shout out to you to you as well. But shout out to the Boxing Voice for always opening the door. You know what I mean, for me to come in here at the time that it's time to come in. You know, we are involved in a wonderful promotion in the undisputed fight of the lightweight division that hasn't happened. And Danny, you the encyclopedia. When is the last time a fight of this magnitude in the lightweight division has happened?
Man, probably Sugar Ray Leonard. Probably the Leonard days. You know, it's been a while. You know, it's been a while, and with all the belts on the line, this is what we've wanted, BH. This is what we've wanted. I was denied. They denied me entry.
Wow.
They denied me entry over an arrest I had a couple years ago, and you know, I pled not guilty. I beat it, and I was in the military, remained in the military, did my time, gave them 2 tours, got out honorably, and the Australian government they told me I can try again under a work visa for the rematch.
Well, I applied because obviously we're working on. I did as much as I could, and been as much as I could to the promotion of the actual event, and it's similar to what you're saying, is that you're you're denied but not denied that you can apply under a different type of visa.
Under a different type of visa, but
which the time, from a time
Doesn't
standpoint,
allow.
doesn't allow. Well, I'm in the same boat, my brother. You know what I'm saying? So I only can assume that now I'm appealing what their decision was to ask for me for more information, and hopefully that it'll happen. But nevertheless, let's not get away from the fact that this is a fight of this magnitude. This is a fight of the world championship for every world belt in boxing. So let's not minimize it, using the word that Fred so eloquently put. Let's not minimize it down to a bringing the belt home or taking the belt from Australia. You really, the winner of this fight represents the lightweight division, represents all the hardware, the king of the lightweight division. Now, when you talk about, that's me.
You got like 5 phones, Bill.
You know what? I'm looking for a word any day.
Right.
Yeah, I'm looking for a word any day now in terms of me getting over there. But like I said, this fight is for everything. You know what I mean? It's for all the hardware, and we do not want to minimize it by any stretch. You know, I know George has been saying a lot of things in the media. A lot of things, a lot of unnecessary things, a lot of things that aren't true. You know, and to sell a fight that he said that he had already had sold. Mm-hmm. He said he didn't need. He said you could have the trash man. So what would you bring up things that don't make any sense? For one, T.O. and Devin have been rivals before they ever had belts, before George Kambosos' name was ever brought up. People would want to see the fight with Devin and T.O. probably right now as much as they wanted to see it then. They'd want to see it now. George Kambosos has come onto the scene, and he said all the things that are not fight related on what he can actually do to Devin. That's the top secret. But everything else that you're saying and he's saying is rhetoric. This is the Super Bowl of the lightweight division.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And it should get that just. It should be given that luster. Devin, you have a champion in Devin who has conceded to all of the demands that George Kambosos and his team has put there.
Absolutely.
You know, so when you talk about that, you have 2 fighters that deserve the recognition that they're getting for making an event of this magnitude happen. I think George, being his first rodeo at this, is being he's not being the professional and being the host that he should be, having an event in the place that he's having it at.
No.
His own home.
So you think he should be politically more correct?
Well, saying that
more welcoming.
Well, no, because when you DM Devin or you're talking to Devin, then you're talking to someone that, for intent purposes, that you know that can make it happen. That's a promoter. Devin is the youngest promoter in the game. So when Kambosos is DMing Devin is saying, I haven't had any luck making the Teofimo fight. So you're saying all the right shit because the public don't know you before you beat Teofimo, but you're talking to Dev in the DMs about making the fight when you beat him.
Right.
So when you see the elation, the energy,
the excitement you guys had in the video.
Oh, it was a real moment because you had George Kambosos, who had already been DMing Dev and saying, if I win, I'm gonna fight you. Right?
Absolutely.
So then we were so surprised when he came to the fight and they announced that he would be going on tour to pick someone. And we said, okay, where did this come from? Right? You first talked to Dev, and you guys DM each other, and you said that if you won, and Devin won against JoJo, so going into that fight, he said that Devin needed to look impressive with JoJo. Then he said that Devin needed to concede to all of Manny Pacquiao's demands when Manny Pacquiao Vasyl Lomachenko.
When he was at war.
Both fighters. Yeah, he said that we needed to do everything that Vasyl Lomachenko would do. Well, we've never seen anything that Vasyl Lomachenko did or what he's committed to. So all that was false. But going into it, Devin said, Pop, do everything that you can to make this fight happen. You know what I'm saying? Don't hold back nothing. They sent it to us and told us within 48 hours, right? I called 24 hours into the 48-hour time and say, is there any play in any of this? Are you serious? This is what it is? I called Devin, sent him over the shit and talked to him. He said, Pops, do what everything it is to make that fight happen. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we did, right? So George Kambosos came with another ploy or another tactic to get under a skin of a fighter and promoter that actually made the fight happen. He's trying to get up under his skin. Devin is the one.
Yo, if you enjoyed the video, feel free to hit the like, subscribe, and share. As always, if you want to support us to the next level, head over to the patreon.com/ThaBoxingVoice. We have tons of exclusive from Border Wars, from title, betting shows, the list goes on and on and on. But in addition to that, if you guys have questions for fighters, trainers, and promoters, this is where you can submit them. We will run out, get these questions answered, and put it back on the show just for you guys. Appreciate it. Peace.